Hi, it's Miles Red Songbird, the Michelle Birdseye in New York City. I'm recommending a video, David Icke, fighting the satanic death cult, London Real channel. They have no empathy, thus no emotional consequences for whatever it does, thus no limits. People say, they would never do that. No, you would never do that. These are excerpts from this video, by the way. That woman walking down the street would never do that. These people in the satanic cult, death cult, would do that. And they get sexually high from doing that. What happens to human society is what I care about. This is what David Icke is saying. I'm 67. I can't just walk away and live my life out. I look around at my grandkids. I look at others' grandkids. I look at the young generation and the not so young generations, and I see what's coming for them, orchestrated by the very same death cult that was behind 9/11. Note. See, read by David Icke's new book, Trigger. It's about 9/11. And David Icke says, I will not rest until I've done every possible thing I can to expunge them, whatever the effects on me. So we've got a chance to expunge them. Because if we don't, then what Orwell thought about, wrote about, is a Tea Party compared to what these people have in mind. Hollywood is a cult. Oh, this is a new video. This is Rose McGowan. She had to escape sex cult as a child. SVT/TV to Skavian channel. I think I'm saying his name correctly. Skavlan. Me Too movement. Rose McGowan is about the Me Too movement. It was hot about a year ago. She's too hopeful. She's hopeful for the world. This is what she says. The video is called Rose McGowan and Weinstein growing up in a cult and running away and running for president. This is at the Ways to Change the World channel, Channel 4 News. Theft. They stole Mary Magdalene's. She spoke of theft here. That's why I'm writing this. They stole Mary Magdalene's love, her husband, Jesus Christ, when they took him from life. When they took him from life. She grieved until she met him again in the 20th, then the 21st century. He married her again and impregnated her in less than half an hour on the invisible plane. Rose McGowan's hero is Malcolm X, who came from nothing, she says, and made something of himself. She said she came from nothing and made something of herself. She is articulate and full of self-confidence. She said her father looked like Jesus and called himself God with a small g. Jesus said the wife is supposed to treat her husband as if he is Jesus, God. And she, the wife, was created to be his helper, according to the Bible, who many believe, including King James and his interpreters, was the Word of God. BlueLetterBible.org. The King James Version of the Bishop's Bible says that Adam's rib, decode Adam's rib. A for Angel Michelle, D for daughter, Am for am. Mild red for M. Mild red for M. S for songbird. Okay. Angel Michelle, daughter of the sun. M. Mild red songbird. She, see, her, pleasure, being, Eve, energy, eternally, scribe. Okay, that's me. I'm the scribe. And I'm Eve. And a lot more. So the King James Version of the Bishop's Bible. King James is Robin Michelle Birdsong. The Bishop's Bible was commissioned by the Virgin Queen Elizabeth I of England, who has been reborn as the Michelle Birdsong. The King James Version of the Bishop's Bible says that Adam's rib was used in the creation of Eve. The word translated rib is the Hebrew word tesla. Tesla. T-E-S-L-A. True, T for true, E for Eve energy, S for she, L for will, by, A for Adam. Tesla decoded. True Eve energy. She willed by Adam. It is used more than the word, this one, Tesla, is used more than 30 times in the Old Testament and is only translated rib in this passage. It refers to the side of Adam in the Sumerian language, one of the most ancient known to humanity. The word for rib also means life. In this context, it is clear that the woman was created from the life of man. Woman was created for the life of humans. Woman brings humans into light. Eve, Venus, goddess of love, has a role equal to Adam. His sperm fertilizes the egg. Egg decoded. E for Eve energy, G for good, G for goddess. Eve energy, good goddess. Life decoded. L for will, I for pleasure, F for feel, E for energy. Will I pleasure, feel energy. Will I pleasure, feel even energy. Individual pleasure. Clit, stick. I will feel even energy if I have an orgasm with my clitoris, as she has an orgasm with a stick. Okay. He's supposed to help her have an orgasm, and she's supposed to help him have an orgasm. Then you're talking about even energy. No one-sidedness. Rose McGowan says, in Hollywood, you're impersonating people you don't want to be. 17 hours a day, months on end, sometimes years. Then you go home, pass out at night, and go to sleep because you're so tired. So she says, I missed a lot of my own life. If I could have spaced out and had time to think, I could have separated myself more. Host, could you explain the freeze, fright, flight, or freeze when you're under psychological trauma? Okay, now she's talking about when Harvey Weinstein molested her, raped her, whatever he did to her, something like that. She says she froze. Freezing is more common than the other two. You turn into this statue. I had an Uber driver about a couple of weeks after the story broke in the New York Times. He didn't know it was me. He was going on and on about he didn't know why these girls couldn't just get out of the hotel room. I said, haven't you ever been so scared you couldn't move? Haven't you ever been so shocked that you couldn't move? He said, yes, when I was 9 years old. I got so scared my feet wouldn't work. I said, that's the way it is, and he understood. I snapped out of my body and floated up to the ceiling and watched everything from up above, but my body was a statue. I guess she's talking about when he was trying to rape her or something. Note, when I was around 9 years old, standing on stage while giving a speech to the student body, I froze and disappeared. My body stood there like a statue. I had, due to fear, ran away from my senses to unconsciousness, to nothingness. Nothingness decoded. N-O-T for not, H-I-N-G for hing, which means an Indian spice. Not hing. And not Indian spice. Jesus Christ, Govinda Singh's nest. Nest. Entered Eve energy, see true.